If you take longer than, say, 5 minutes to reply to a customer who's asking a question on WhatsApp, you are effectively setting your money on fire.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the data actually shows they're 6 times less likely to buy from you at that point. But, the problem is human beings have to sleep. We step away from our keyboards, we take the weekends off, and while we do that, those leads just go entirely cold.
Yeah, which is honestly the core friction point of modern e-commerce right now. I mean, the expectation for instant responsiveness has completely outpaced human capacity.
Right, so today we're doing a deep dive into how a viral open source AI agent called OpenClaw is essentially stepping in to work that night shift.
And the day shift, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
We're pulling all of this from a stack of 2026 e-commerce integration guides, some cybersecurity manuals from GrowX, and specific real-world case studies from Tencent Cloud and ALM Corp.
It's a really solid stack of sources.
It is. And our mission for you listening today, whether you are running a solo Shopify store out of your garage, or maybe scaling a massive multi-channel retail op, or even if you're just endlessly curious about how AI is moving from just chatting to actually doing things, we want to show you how the software model is completely flipped.
Right, because you aren't just buying a tool that sits there waiting to be swung like a hammer anymore.
Exactly. You are effectively hiring a digital employee to automate the repetitive grind, right out of your business.
And that shift, the shift from software as a passive tool to software as an autonomous actor, it's a massive paradigm change.
Oh, totally.
And to really understand why it's solving this huge revenue problem in social commerce, we have to look at the sheer scale of the market. Because, social commerce hit roughly $997.8 billion in 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. And the projections point toward $8.5 trillion by 2030. And the kicker is that Gen Z and millennials make up 62% of that spend.
And they do not want to wait around.
No, not at all. They don't want to fill out a contact form and wait 3 to 5 business days for an email. They want to DM a brand on Telegram or WhatsApp and just buy immediately.
Right. And traditional automation really struggles to keep up with that kind of workflow. I mean, a lot of folks listening might use tools like Zapier or Make, right?
Sure.
And I like to think of traditional API tools like a restaurant drive-thru. You pull your car up, you look at the menu board, and you can only order exactly what is explicitly printed on that menu.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. So in the software world, that menu is a public API. If a platform doesn't offer a specific action on its public API, traditional automation just hits a brick wall. You just can't order it.
Exactly. That is the perfect visualization of the limitation. And OpenClaw, well, it bypasses that limitation entirely because it uses what are called browser-based workflows.
Okay, so how does that differ from the drive-thru?
So instead of waiting in the drive-thru line, the agent basically walks in the back door, enters the kitchen, opens the fridge, and just cooks the meal itself.
That's wild.
It is. It spins up a real hidden browser session in the background. It reads the web pages, it moves the cursor, and it literally clicks the buttons. And because it communicates directly with the browser engine, it can interact with platforms that have absolutely no public API whatsoever.
The real-world impact of a system that can browse like a human is just nuts to me. The integration guides highlight this entrepreneur named Nat Eliason, who deployed an OpenClaw agent that he actually named Felix.
Right, I remember reading about Felix.
Yeah, and the single agent autonomously built a dropshipping business that generated over $14,000 in revenue. It was handling tasks that normally require a whole team of people.
Yeah, and the supplier research aspect of that specific case study is just particularly illuminating. I mean, instead of a human spending weeks reaching out to different vendors, Felix was programmed to just open supplier directories right in its browser.
Like Alibaba or something.
Exactly. It would search for product keywords, filter by shipping times, and actually parse the visual data on the page to read the supplier reliability ratings.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and then it used its underlying language model to draft and send inquiry messages to those suppliers through their standard web contact forms, like just asking for minimum order quantities.
So it basically did all the grunt work of negotiating.
Pretty much.
But, knowing how to browse supplier catalogs doesn't really matter if your actual storefront is fundamentally broken.
Which brings up the biggest way this browser behavior saves money, right?
Oh, absolutely. The inventory management.
Yeah. Catching inventory errors across multiple channels before a customer buys a sold-out item. It is the classic multi-channel inventory nightmare.
Anyone who has tried selling on both Shopify and Amazon simultaneously knows the deep pain of an inventory mismatch.
Right. You sell your very last unit of a product on Amazon on a Saturday night, and your system doesn't update fast enough, so your Shopify store still says, hey, we have one left.
And then Sunday morning rolls around.
Yep. Sunday morning, a customer buys it on Shopify. Now you have to write that really awkward apology email, cancel the order, refund the money, and your seller reputation takes a massive hit.
It's the worst. But to solve this, OpenClaw agents use a really highly reliable four-step logic loop to reconcile that inventory automatically.
Walk us through that loop.
Sure. So first, the agent pulls Shopify. It just reads your current stock levels directly from the store's database via a read-only Shopify API token.
Okay, so checking Shopify is easy because they freely give you a developer access key for that.
Right.
But Amazon is notoriously locked down. I mean, they don't just hand out API access to anyone, and it's incredibly expensive when they actually do.
Yeah.
So how does this open source agent get the Amazon data without some premium API connection?
Well, this is exactly where that browser-based workflow shines again. The agent opens a hidden browser, it navigates to Amazon Seller Central, logs in, and goes straight to the Manage Inventory page. Yeah. It visually extracts the quantity on-hand number for the matching product SKUs by, literally reading the text rendered on the screen.
So it's literally just reading the dashboard the same exact way I would with my own two eyes.
Exactly that. And once it has both of those numbers, it moves to the third step, which is taking the difference and flagging any variances.
Okay.
You can configure it to ignore minor sync delays, just normal internet lag. But if it finds a discrepancy above a threshold, say, a difference of more than 5 units, it
Right.
flags it.
Makes sense.
And step 4.
Step 4 is triggering an action. If the agent sees that an item's stock has dropped below your set reorder point, it doesn't just send you a dumb alert saying, hey, stock is low.
Yeah.
It fires a Telegram message directly to your human purchasing team with a pre-filled supplier order draft, just ready to go.
That is incredible. Let's break down the math on this, though, because, time is the ultimate currency here.
Now, the guides calculate that performing this kind of manual inventory sync across just 3 sales channels usually takes a human about 2 hours every single day.
At least.
Right. And by handing this loop to OpenClaw, you save approximately 1,990 minutes a month on this one task alone. That's over 33 hours.
It's massive.
And on top of getting that time back, the data shows it reduces actual stockout incidents by 85%.
Yeah, and getting that much time back allows an operator to actually focus on strategy instead of data entry.
For sure.
But once your inventory is secure, the next logical hurdle is remaining competitive in the market, and that means dynamic pricing.
And pricing is brutal. Like if your competitor runs a flash sale and you don't notice for 2 days, you lose all of that momentum. So how does a digital employee handle competitor monitoring?
Through the exact same browser mechanism. You basically provide the agent with a mapping document, like your Shopify product handle linked to a competitor's web address.
Good.
And then on a schedule, the agent navigates to the competitor's page. It parses the CSS, which is essentially the digital blueprint that styles the web page, to locate the exact visual box that holds the price tag.
Oh, so it just grabs it right off the page?
Yep. It extracts that raw price value, completely bypassing the need for an API, and writes that data directly into a Google Sheet or even a Shopify backend field.
Wait, hold on. I see a massive risk here.
Okay, what is it?
Well, if I tell this agent to aggressively match a competitor's price, what happens if that competitor gets hacked, right?
Yeah.
Or they have some database glitch and they drop their flagship $500 product to like $1.
Yeah.
Is my AI bot going to blindly match that $1 glitch and just bankrupt my entire store in my sleep?
That is a very critical realization, and it really highlights why the underlying architecture matters so much here. Repricing rules built into these agents are designed to trigger a draft update, never a live change.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah. So if a competitor's price drops significantly, the agent drafts the price change in Shopify, but it holds it in a pending state. It then pings you with a notification on your phone.
Oh.
So it does all the tedious checking and math, but it leaves the final financial decision entirely up to you.
So it does all the legwork, but I still make the final call. That makes perfect sense. The LLM Corp case study in our stack really zeroes in on this.
Yeah, they had great results with this.
They did. They're a multi-channel enterprise opt-in with a massive catalog, and they deployed this exact dynamic pricing strategy. They were able to monitor thousands of SKUs across dozens of competitors every single day.
Which a human just couldn't do.
Right. The time they saved just from eliminating the manual competitors checking was calculated at around 440 minutes a month.
And that leads us perfectly back to the original problem we discussed at the very start. The customer who wants to buy right now, responding in under 5 minutes.
Right, the automated lead triage. So we established that OpenClaw reads the screen, but how does it actually talk to a customer on WhatsApp without sounding like, a robotic phone tree from 2005?
Well, it uses an underlying large language model, an LLM, to read the incoming direct message and actually classify the intent behind it.
So it's not just looking for keywords.
No, it doesn't rely on basic keyword triggers at all. It actually understands the context. It determines if the customer is making a purchase inquiry, asking a shipping question, or requesting a return.
Okay, so if a customer sends a message saying, hey, I need those blue sneakers for a wedding this weekend, do you have a size 10? The agent knows that's a high purchase intent.
Yes, exactly. And the agent will draft a highly personalized response, pull the live stock status for size 10 blue sneakers directly from your Shopify backend, and reply with a pre-populated checkout URL so the customer can literally buy it in one tap.
Wow, and what if they just want tracking info?
If the message is instead, where is my order, the agent queries Shopify for the tracking number and replies with the real-time status.
The Tencent Cloud case study paints just an incredible picture of this triage in action.
It's one of my favorite examples.
Mine too. They analyzed a solo e-commerce seller managing over 200 active listings. And before using an agent, their average customer response time was 45 minutes.
Which is pretty standard for a solo operator.
Yeah, for sure. But after deploying OpenClaw for WhatsApp triage, that response time dropped to 8 seconds.
An 8-second response time completely changes the customer's perception of the brand. I mean, it feels like white glove service.
And it translated directly to revenue. Their conversion rate on those inquiries jumped from 22% to 41%.
That's huge.
The seller estimated the agent handled 85% of all incoming messages without any human intervention whatsoever. Let's actually add up all the time saved for the listener based on these sources so far. We had 1,990 minutes saved on the inventory loops. We add the 440 minutes saved on dynamic pricing checks.
All right.
And another 220 minutes saved on this lead triage.
So what does that total?
That is over 44 hours of manual labor saved per month. You are quite literally getting an entire work week of your life back.
It is a profound shift in operational leverage, but retrieving 44 hours a month is really only beneficial if the system is actually secure.
Yeah, that's the catch.
Because handing a digital actor the keys to your store's backend and your direct customer message logs, that introduces serious vulnerability if it isn't locked down tightly.
Honestly, that sounds like a fast track to a massive data breach. If an open source agent is out there reading my customers' physical shipping addresses, how do we put guardrails on this thing so it doesn't leak sensitive data or, I don't know, accidentally refund 1,000 orders?
Right. So the cybersecurity breakdowns from GrowX detail some very strict principles you absolutely must follow. And first and foremost is the principle of least privilege regarding API tokens. You must use strictly scoped tokens.
Let's break that down for people. A scope token is essentially like giving an employee a key card.
That's a perfect way to put it. You give the inventory-focused agent a key card that only unlocks the stockroom door. It has permission to read the inventory and write order updates.
But nothing else.
Exactly. That key card absolutely will not unlock the HR filing cabinet or the customer database. It simply cannot access data. It doesn't need to do its specific job.
Okay, but what about the customer service agent? It literally has to see the customer data to answer shipping questions.
True. Which brings us to the second principle. Filtering personally identifiable information, or PII.
Right.
OpenClaw must be configured to filter PII before any data is stored. Think of it like taking a heavy black redaction marker to a document before you file it away.
Okay, I like that visual.
Yeah, this ensures that customer names, physical shipping addresses, and payment data never persist in the agent's long-term memory logs or its conversation history. So if the logs are ever compromised by a bad actor, the sensitive data simply isn't there to steal.
Makes sense. And the third guardrail is what we touched on with that $1 pricing glitch earlier, right? The human-in-the-loop gates, often called HITL.
Yes, human-in-the-loop is your ultimate safety net. The integration experts recommend very specific thresholds for these approval gates.
Like what?
For example, any single refund over $50 requires human sign-off. A bulk price change that affects more than 10 SKUs must be approved. Generating a discount code greater than 20% or sending a bulk email to more than 50 customers, all of that requires human intervention.
Basically, anything that could cost the business serious money or damage its reputation if the AI hallucinates or makes a mistake.
Precisely. Any action hitting those thresholds is automatically paused by the system. The agent then routes a summary of the proposed action to a designated Slack or Telegram channel.
Mm.
A human manager reviews the summary on their phone and physically clicks approve or reject. The AI cannot act alone on high-stakes tasks.
All right, so the guardrails are solid, the key cards are scoped, the files are redacted, and the manager override is active.
Yep.
But for the listener sitting here thinking, okay, this sounds great in theory, the idea of deploying open source AI agents on servers usually requires a background in computer science, right?
In the past, it absolutely did. I mean, you had to configure Docker instances and manage virtual private servers yourself.
Let's quickly translate that. Docker is basically setting up digital shipping containers to hold your code, and a VPS is like renting an empty warehouse in the cloud to put those containers in. It's incredibly technical.
It is, yeah. But the ecosystem has matured dramatically just recently. The guides outline this really frictionless five-step beginner setup based on managed hosting platforms, specifically a service called OpenClaw.
Okay.
It completely removes the need to touch any command line code at all.
Awesome. Walk us through how a non-technical store owner actually sets this up then.
Sure. So, step one is creating the agent on the OpenClaw dashboard. You just select an e-commerce template, which gives you all the basic foundational logic out of the box.
Nice and easy.
Step two is connecting your store. You take that scoped Shopify API keycard we just discussed and paste it into the platform's encrypted secrets vault.
Simple enough. What's step 3?
Step three involves adding skills. You browse a visual skill library, kind of like an app store, and install the specific capability you want, like the inventory sync skill.
Got it.
Step four is setting the trigger for when the agent should actually work. You can use a cron schedule or a webhook.
Let me just clarify those terms for the listeners.
Yeah.
A cron schedule is like setting a digital alarm clock.
Yeah.
You tell the agent, hey, wake up every 30 minutes and check the inventory.
Right.
A webhook, on the other hand, is more like a tripwire. The moment a customer buys something on the store, the tripwire snaps and instantly alerts the agent to jump into action.
That analogy works perfectly. And then the final step, step five, is enabling your human-in-the-loop gates. You just authenticate your Slack or Telegram workspace so those high-stakes approval requests have a secure, direct channel to reach you.
That actually sounds entirely manageable for a solo operator. But, what happens when that solo operator becomes wildly successful? Say they grow from a single Shopify store in their garage to an enterprise operation with multiple storefronts, international warehouses, and a huge support team. Does this simple setup just break down under pressure?
Not at all. The underlying architecture is really designed to scale seamlessly. As a business upgrades to, say, a Shopify Plus enterprise operation, you aren't forced to abandon the OpenClaw system.
Oh, that's good.
You can orchestrate multiple storefronts from a single, more robust agent. It handles multi-currency pricing across different global regions easily. It manages multi-language customer communications natively through the LLM.
So the agent just kind of levels up its capabilities alongside your revenue.
Exactly. It becomes the central nervous system of your entire app ecosystem. It can coordinate real-time context between Klaviyo for your email marketing campaigns, Gorgias for your human support ticketing, and ShipStation for your physical fulfillment network.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? OpenClaw isn't just another integration plugin that you install and forget about.
No, definitely not.
It's a tireless, browser-capable digital employee. It rescues you from the endless copy-paste grind of multi-channel inventory management. It monitors your competitors, bringing those dynamic pricing alerts straight to your phone. It gives you instant, 24/7 laid triage, turning a 45-minute wait into an 8-second response, which just dries up your conversion rates.
It's huge.
And it does all of this securely, holding the major financial decisions for your explicit approval so you can actually focus on growing your business strategy instead of just drowning in administration.
It fundamentally changes the leverage a single operator or a small team possesses. But if we pull back and look at the broader implications of this technology, it leaves us with a rather profound dynamic to consider.
Oh, I like where this is going. What are you thinking?
Well, we just spent this entire deep dive discussing how you, the seller, can use an OpenClaw agent to autonomously research competitors, scrape prices, and negotiate with suppliers.
Right.
But the technology is entirely open source. Anyone can use it.
Right. Oh, I see.
So what happens to the landscape of e-commerce when your customers start using their own personal OpenClaw agents?
Oh, wow.
Imagine an AI buyer agent acting on behalf of a consumer. It autonomously scours the web, compares your Shopify store's prices against Amazon, reads thousands of product reviews in seconds, and then messages your AI seller agent on WhatsApp to aggressively negotiate a custom discount code.
That is wild. When an AI buyer agent starts haggling with an AI seller agent in milliseconds, executing a transaction without either human ever even looking at a screen, what does the future of a storefront even look like? Do we even need visual websites anymore? Or is the future of commerce just agents talking to APIs in the dark?
It's a fascinating frontier, and honestly, it's arriving faster than we think.
It really is. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Whether you're ready to hire your first digital employee to tackle that drive-through menu of tasks, or you're just, watching the AI revolution unfold from the safety of the kitchen, keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll catch you on the next one.